Andrew Ditch.
I want to leave! I want to leave! Ow! Ow!
What?
I don't want you to hurt my ears!
The doctor's...
I want to leave.
Hey, man, come on.
I want to leave. Dad, Mom is on the floor.
Oh my
She
god.
fell.
Holy shit. Normally when you look at someone's room, see like how messy it is, it kind of tells you what kind of person they are and kind of like what kind of like mental condition they're in, you know? But like, having clothes piled up on that and having a poop chair right there. Man, these people aren't well. Like, at all.
Right off the toilet.
The past 2 days I was taking it easy for my emotional well-being, Dad.
Andrew Ditch, also known as the Poopsquatch, is a
Yep.
38-year-old man from New
Poopsquatch.
York. Andrew is primarily known around the internet for his extreme disagreements with his family, usually stemming from accusations of neglect or improper care. From the outside looking in, you would think it's two parents complaining that their son and caretaker is not doing a good job.
Bro, his parents are old. They can't do anything, let alone take care of him. I don't know. Might be judging too soon in the video. We'll have to watch it.
But in reality, it's the exact opposite. Andrew, who is nearly 40, has called the police on his parents hundreds of times for what he claims is improper care. The more you look at it, the fishier this whole thing gets. And the lore of Andrew Ditch has proven to be quite the rabbit hole. But I feel like the best way to explain it is to simply start at the beginning. Andy was born June 7th, 1985, and lived with his brother Joe, his other brother Michael, his father Tom, and mother, Janet. As a child, he was diagnosed with PTSD and was hospitalized numerous times for threats and assaults against his own family. One of the most extreme being antifreeze poisoning that his father Tom suffered. Though it could not be proven, Tom highly suspects that this was Andy. And as we proceed with this...
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Poisoning your own family with antifreeze? I would immediately kick him out. And like the thing is too is like you can only hold someone accountable for things you can actually prove. Like you can say the most bizarre shit or do the most bizarre things, and if they don't have any proof of you doing that, no one's gonna believe you. I'm not like obviously you can have people that believe you, but like in a court of law, they can only pass what they have proof of. You're dumb. What does that mean? Shut up, bitch.
Video, you'll find that Andy has a history of tampering with consumables. The next pivotal moment in Andy's life would be a car accident that he would be involved in. While riding his bike to his job as a Ronald McDonald performer at McDonald's, Andy was struck in a hit and run. Here is Andy's father, Tom, speaking about the accident and some of the consequences that it may have had on Andy's life.
And he was riding his bike on Hines over by the apartment and Fletcher. And we got a phone call. We were sitting down to eat dinner. Come and see your son if you want, because otherwise he's going to be dead. He's laying in the middle of the street. So we raced out, got in the car, went over there, and he's laying in the middle of the street. He got hit by a vehicle, hit and run, and he's laying there, you know, his whole face is all mashed up and everything. And we had to call the police and the ambulance, get him to the hospital, whole 9 yards. And they said, well, other than the lesions, bleeding, and probably a concussion, he should be okay. And ever since, we've always questioned whether or not he had brain damage. Get this, Andy used to drive. And he used to have his own computer business in our house. And he was high rated with the Better Business Bureau. And he was an amateur weather meteorologist. And he locates storms at the airport and all these other things. And all that stuff and all the stuff he was interested in, and he loved the sabers. Lost interest. Can't do it. Can't function. No more.
Though immediately Andy didn't display...
Yeah, I think that totally fucking makes sense. You get hit by a car, with some possible brain damage and you just lose kind of like who you were. Yeah, that could definitely be the case. Like, getting hit by a car won't change. Yeah, no, you're fucking with me. Yeah, getting hit by a car can change your life, and it will. But what he just said is a 100% possibility. Like, yeah, that's totally believable.
Any signs of a brain injury, the National Institute of Health states that it can take years for the consequences of these brain injuries to
Yeah.
develop. In
Yeah.
certain cases, of course. Do I believe this is the case for Andy? I truly don't know, because that PC business his father spoke about was started well after the accident. Here's a clip of Andy from 8 years ago.
And you're gonna plug in from the modem to your router into the WAN port. Sometimes it'll be marked WAN. Sometimes it'll be marked just with the internet symbol, such as what this router has. Has a little universe on there. Hey YouTube, Andy here. I have a challenge for everybody.
Wait.
YouTube. Sometimes it'll be marked just
Okay.
with the internet symbol, such as what this router has. Has a little universe on there. Hey YouTube, Andy here. I have a challenge for everybody. If you want me...
Okay, so if you listen to his speech, or how he words it and how he continues to say it, I'd say it's definitely possible that he has a brain injury that are just not being revealed, because, like the doctor said, sometimes it takes years for him to develop into different ways. Like, he totally fucking sounds different now in this video than he did before.
to eat poop,
What?
I need you to subscribe to my channel, get me 1 million subscribers plus.
Not only did Andrew run a computer business on his own, but he was also an amateur meteorologist, being good enough to actually work with real meteorologists
Yeah.
a couple of times. Andrew also lived by himself, taking care of all of his needs. Granted, he didn't make enough money to pay for the apartment and eventually had to move back to the house, where he finds
Okay.
himself in his current situation, living with his mom, dad, and brother Joe. And that was when Andy began to behave in this way. And to say that the family is dysfunctional would be a massive understatement. Let me just show you an average interaction between Andy and his family.
You deny me my test kit for sugar, my medications that is at your house, my property,
Is he recording him?
and my medical rights.
Oh, that's good, Andy. You know, you can play this game too, because right now I'm doing the same thing you.
And I've been recording you all along.
Well, good.
It's going on YouTube to how you treat me.
The main thing that Andy accuses his family of is neglect. He will start recording, making claims that his family is denying him his prescriptions, denying him proper care, and not helping him in any way. He'll take this video, edit it, and post it to his YouTube channel, all in an attempt to get pity. That is the main purpose of.
So what if he's posting it to his YouTube to get pity, but what if also the people from YouTube are like feeding into his delusion that he has? Because when you look for clarity or when you look for pity on the internet, you're going to get like several types of people. And I think one of those groups of people that he has in contact with is like they're looking at him and seeing him as like some sort of like autistic man who can't take care of himself, without knowing that he wasn't always this way and he got hit by a car which changed his life, which is definitely possible because there's I forget what it's called, but there's a spot on the back of your head. If you hit it hard enough, it would change the way you feel. Like, it changes you completely. It basically it puts you in a wheelchair. There's actually a very famous case of it. I can't remember his name, but he was a boxer. It was actually illegal to do in boxing and illegal to do MMA. You can't hit but the back of the head of someone's head. If you do that, you have a chance of like killing them or making them retarded. Like 100% retarded, yeah. But like to what I was saying, he's probably getting information from people online, like kind of like a emotional I wouldn't really say manipulating him, but feeding him advice or information that's probably hurting his relationship with his family, which I do think it's actually very possible.
His presence on social media to post videos about how his family quote-unquote abuses him and how he is seeking help from the state, only to claim that he has received none. He has received thousands of hours of consultation over the phone, hundreds of hours of in-person care, thousands in medications, and even more in adult diapers. And you know what Andy does with all of these things? Throws them away and tries to blame it on his family members. So they've had to start documenting the things that he's destroyed himself. Here is Andy's father Tom and brother Joe confronting Andy about this.
Why are you forcing me to have
obvious,
those
Joe, a
things?
lot of it was destroyed.
Yeah, I destroyed my medicines.
He
You
opened
say I
them up
don't
and
need
threw
them.
them
I
out.
don't need help.
So, good.
I don't need your
It
help.
makes it
you
easy
said.
for me to get it out.
You said that. I don't need help. I used to do this stuff all myself.
What are you going to disturb the neighbors because if you're misbehaving?
Yeah, Andy, I'm
Uncontrollable
recording too.
crap.
Yeah, well, I want that thrown away. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't have autism. I fucking fake.
Good.
Can you please let me throw it out? It's my...
Yeah, I don't think it's autism. I think it's brain damage. That severely damaged his nerves and his brain, which makes him a non-functional member of society. I could see that, yeah.
You're having a temper
Please,
tantrum, Andy.
I want
This
to
is
throw
not
it
an
out. I
acceptable
don't
behavior.
want to have autism anymore.
Oh, well.
Please. I don't want diapers anymore. Please. You're forcing me to do something I don't want because you're hurting me.
Andy, if you wouldn't act like this, Andy, if you didn't act like this, we wouldn't have this problem.
I can do this shit. I'm calling police.
Yeah, call him.
You're instigating me. And you're being allowed to do this to me, and I'm asking you to please throw it out.
You're right.
I don't want it anymore.
Well, you don't have a choice no matter when you misbehave like.
So what I'm seeing is a narcissistic behavior, or like gaslighting manipulation, obviously, because he said that before that Andy needs all these things. Okay, so everything that Andy needs, Andy has, but Andy is throwing them away and saying and telling everyone that the state and his family refuse to help him. Which obviously that's not the case. Clearly his family's trying to help him, but he's making it worse than he actually is. Like, leaving out crucial information like that could be like court-changing facts too. And another thing too is you get people who believe one side of the story, and you get the other half who believe the other side, and then you have the people who are in the middle, like, I don't care about any of this, it's nothing to do with me. Yeah, I know. Imagine like 2 o'clock in the morning and you're just hearing this shit. You just hear 2 in the morning. You just hear Andrew go off. That's so horrible.
I don't want them anymore, please.
His family is truly damned if they do, and damned if they don't. If they allow Andy to throw out these items, then he's just gonna pin it all on them. He's done it in the past. And if they do confront Andy on throwing these things out, he claims that they're forcing him to use them. Andrew's interactions with these diapers are beyond vile, and one of the things that he's most well known for, but also one of the things that I refuse to touch on very much in this video. The things that I have seen and heard are beyond graphic. From infections to talk of just how much Andy likes these diapers, it is hands down some of the most disgusting stuff I have ever had to look into. I beg you to take my word for it. In the previous clip, you heard Andy mention that he didn't like being called a fake. What he's referencing is the fact that everybody mentions that he's never actually been diagnosed with autism, which he adamantly claims to have. If you point out this medical fact that Andy has proven himself, well, he's gonna absolutely lose it on you. Here he is throwing a temper tantrum over being called a fake by his brother and father.
I'm gonna break this so I don't have it. I don't want to live anymore because you bullied me.
He freaking threw me.
You bullied me. You bullied me, and the cops allow you to do it to me.
Okay, go turn on living room light.
Can you go upstairs? Please,
No.
I feel cornered.
No. No.
Please, I want to be left alone. You.
Just in case he does something.
What's he doing? Are those
Dad,
puppy pads?
I want to be left alone. You're bullying me. Please, I want you to stop.
What is he doing?
I want to get my sneakers, Dad, so I can go run away. Please,
Yeah,
I
you
want
need
to get my
cardio.
sneakers since you fucking called me a fucking fake! And you hurt me! I want to get my sneakers, please!
What a horrible way to live. I was like, in scenarios like this, and this is just what I think a lot of people who get into heated debates or arguments or situations like this tend to be biased to their own side without them even realizing it. I was like, I think the best case to go do in situations like this is to defuse the situation. And once you get the situation diffused, you guys are able to talk civilly without exchanging insults or threats. And by doing that, I think you guys will get further into the problem than you will just by like recording each other and calling each other names. Like that's how I look at it too. Like you got to meet them in the middle. And the way that I process by talking to people, like when it comes to problems, the way that I think about it is I analyze and I think about how they will react or like who they are as a person. Because if you think about who they are and what they do, that kind of tells you like where their moral alignment is at. And so like the easiest way to explain it is get to know them and then approach them in their own way. Because like a lot of times when you approach someone in your own way, like how you think it would go, it's not gonna work out very well. Like you can't be yelling at someone like Andy. Like you gotta be patient. I know it's a lot, but you gotta be patient with people like this. Otherwise, you're not gonna get anywhere.
I want to get my sneakers, please!
Yeah, he dumped the cranberry juice all the way. He dumped his cranberry juice down there. Into the dog food, destroying the dog food. No.
I'm scared of you,
I don't
Dad.
care what you think you are.
I'm scared of you. You abuse me.
It is widely speculated that Andy suffers from Munchausen syndrome. It is a rare type of mental disorder in which a person fakes illness.
Yeah.
The person may lie about symptoms, make themselves appear to look sick, or make themselves purposefully.
I don't even think that it's an illness now. Like yeah, you could look at it as an illness, but there's plenty of people out there that do it for the benefits of like having an illness when they don't. Those are normally like liars or narcissist people. Narcissists do that shit all the time. Like I couldn't tell you how many people I came across on the internet who faked a condition or faked about having an illness, so they could say and do whatever they want without any repercussions. Like Andy, he might actually have this syndrome because he's not like your average Joe, right? If an average Joe was doing this and they look completely normal and acted normal, and then all of a sudden just had like this weird burst of like anger or like whatever you want to call it, then yeah, that's questionable. But as far as for like Andy, yeah, I'd say so too. I think this guy's right. I think he might have this syndrome for sure.
About symptoms, make themselves appear to look sick,
Yeah.
or make themselves purposefully unwell. Andy has been proven to have done all of these things. If you want indisputable proof that he has not been diagnosed with autism, then look no further with this call from the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, where they state in very plain terms that he has never been diagnosed.
Yeah.
Between February and March 2019, age 33. Several psychiatric reports were completed by Trinity Medical, Western New York, PC, and Erie County Medical Center for Mr. Ditch, attachment 16. While some of these reports indicate that Mr. Ditch had an autism spectrum disorder, none of them reference any testing to support this diagnosis. The Erie County Medical Center noted in its March 7, 2019 report, SWAPIC referral details. Per collateral, Andrew has an IQ of 80, central auditory processing disorder, and another processing disorder. He does not have autism. He does not have autism. He does not have autism.
That was the statement of the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities.
Right.
They went on to say that they believed Andy suffered from schizoaffective disorder, and that his self-diagnosis of autism was in line with symptoms of that.
Yeah. He doesn't have autism. He never had autism. He's just fucked up in the head because of brain damage.
His family are all very aware of this, and his brother Joe has absolutely no patience for any of it.
Yeah,
and rightly
I don't blame
so.
him.
Joe despises Andy for the way that he acts, especially the way that he treats their parents. So when Andy comes up to him and tries to solicit sympathy, Joe isn't afraid to start blaring his trumpet, much to the disdain of Andy.
Didn't want to go with Dad to my
Maybe I should show you what abuse does to an individual with this.
Please leave me.
Leave Joe alone.
Tomorrow I'm going to play what my doctors and school records show.
You're not going to leave? Then I'm going to call the police and have you removed, Andy.
Good, do so. I want you to.
What the fuck?
Get out!
Stop!
Then move. Get out of my room.
No, I'm not going to. I'm not going into you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chewy, how you doing?
Crucify him.
My diagnosis because I've been fighting for one since school because I saw how a predictably environment.
Get
CPC
out.
and school
No.
home never had one.
Get
No, I'm not giving in to you.
out.
You can abuse me all you want. I'm not going.
Environment. Trouble with restricted
And
entry.
please move. I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, I don't.
Move. I gotta go to the bathroom.
Then go.
19.
I'll follow
I had a
you.
reading level.
You're not following me.
Because I'm
Because
going
then you're
downstairs to make
harassing
sure
me.
you hear how I feel. I don't want you to hurt my ears. I don't want you to hurt my ears. You're not hurting my ears. I'm not going to allow you to hurt my ears. I'm not going to allow you to hurt my ears. Move. I'm beating you. I don't want to be you abusing me.
Oh my
I
god.
don't want you to hurt my ears.
Rammed me in the wall.
I don't want you to abuse me.
Another thing that Andy is particularly fond of is covering
Oh my
up his
God.
ears and
What if? Yeah, he's clearly going down a psychopath route. Like, bro, this is like a fucking horror movie. Like, he goes from like your normal guy who has their shit together, gets into like some sort of like accident, wakes up, and he's completely different. Something wrong with him psychologically, and he just goes around killing like his family with like antifreeze and just like kills like animals in the yard. Dude, this is horror movie material right here. Yeah, no, it 100% is 100%.
claiming that any loud noise is bothering him. Now you're probably saying, hey, Kiwi Tapes, that's awfully insensitive. You just
No.
heard that he suffered from processing issues. And I'd say that you're right.
Yeah.
If Andy hasn't had a well-documented history of going to rock and roll concerts, that's right, the guy who assaulted his brother over a little trumpet playing is actively attending rock and roll concerts. If it was something more mellow, like blues,
Yeah, sorry about that. There's a huge thunderstorm outside my home right now.
or jazz, maybe. But in my experience, the only thing louder than a rock concert is an EDM festival. You cannot tell me that that kind of environment, packed with people, really loud, is more acceptable to Andy than his brother simply playing the trumpet. And even his own father trying to play a little bit of rock on his guitar.
Okay, Andy, you need to go and get off out of my room because You're not welcome up here.
I need to get away
It
from you.
doesn't matter. You either
Get
go
away
outside
from me or I'm going,
or you
please.
sit in the living room while we finish eating, and then we'll be out of your way. We need to go.
You say that every
Andy,
single night.
follow
Andy will be
instructions.
up here until you come up.
No, Andy, get off my bed. No, Andy.
Bro, his brother is just like, holy fuck. They have the same hairline though.
Andy, get off my bed.
Oh my god.
What is the address?
Did he turn up the volume?
Hello? Help me, please! Help me, please! My dad's hurting my ears! I'm at home! Please save me!
Tom, on the off chance you ever watch this, you're a great guitar player. And Joe,
Yeah.
you really know how to play the trumpet, man.
Yep.
It's a shame that your brother/son will allow a crowd of complete strangers to enjoy their music, but God forbid you try to play a little bit of your own.
Yeah.
They gave him
What the
like a
fuck,
5-minute warning before they even started playing. His father told him what was going to go on and to either go outside or go to the living room somewhere where it wouldn't hurt his ears. What does Andy do? Fires up the video camera
Victim.
and then
I'm a
completely
victim,
ruins
motherfucker.
your jam session by calling the police. It seems like whenever the attention's not on Andy, then there's problems. He has this habit of making other family members' misfortune all about himself. When his father hurt his ankle real
Yep.
bad, Andy demanded to be taken to the hospital for sympathy pains. And when his mother's health was failing, Andy resented her for taking his father's attention from him. Andy really seems to hold his mother in contempt.
Yeah.
And public opinion believes
it's really bad.
it is because she requires so much care from his father. Care that Andy believes he should be receiving. Andy's parents are both elderly, and sometimes his mom requires a walker. But instead of seeing this and offering help, Andy feels jealousy. So one day when he found his mom collapsed on the floor, instead of helping her, Andy pulls out his video camera and starts recording.
Why did you fall when you were sitting on the toilet?
Oh my god. We need a dedicated department of the government that dedicates all the time and resources into helping people like these, because people like Annie don't belong out in the free world. They belong in a controlled environment 24/7. There's plenty of other people like this too, and they're all over the internet, and they're doing all sorts of shit. Like we need something or do something about it, because it's only gonna get worse as more of these videos pop up.
I got off the toilet.
And you can't get up, and you couldn't call anyone.
I did.
Okay, Google broadcast. Dad, Mom is on the floor. She fell right off the toilet. She's on the dog's bed. Did you lose? Is it sugar?
Oh my god.
I hope not.
Why were you sitting in the toilet for 2 hours?
I'm doing a puzzle.
For 2 hours?
She's on the
sitting
floor.
In the toilet? Did you poop or anything?
No.
You were just peeing. You were sitting there.
Andy didn't lift a finger.
Yeah.
He simply called his dad to come help. And then Joe coming in asking her what she's doing. The look she gives him is priceless. It's like, what the hell do you think I'm doing? Andy would rather see his mother struggling to get up than attempt to help her in any way but calling Dad. And this hasn't happened just once, but twice.
Dad, she's leaning off the chair and she's going to bend
She
over.
does a lot of things. That's why I say you gotta watch her.
She's like Grandma.
Andy, please.
Well, Mom, you don't do anything.
But she can't. What are you talking about?
So do you. So be quiet, please.
I lay.
You don't do much of either or anything.
The past 2 days, I was taking it easy for my emotional well-being, Dad.
There are...
Dude, imagine being the nuisance in the house causing everyone emotional distress. And then we just sit on the couch and be like, yeah, for the last 2 days, I've just been like taking it easy for my emotional well-being. It's It's been hard for me the last 2 days. Harassing you guys and making you guys emotionally uncomfortable in your own household, in your elderly age, really takes a toll on me. It's like, dude, get out.
Two things about this video that really get me. First and foremost being the criticism that Andy is spewing forth. Sitting on the couch, wiggling his toes, and telling his mom that she's like grandma, she doesn't do anything. All while his dad, who I've never seen without a lower back brace, helps her up to use her walker. Which leads me to my second point. Do these two people look like they could abuse Andy? Do they look like they should be legally required to take care of Andy? For Christ's sakes, Andrew went to the courts and tried to make them legally force his parents to change his diapers. You see, despite the way Andy acts, he's never afraid to get the legal process involved. In particular, he likes to bring up his...
Yeah, he's not afraid to bring in the legal process because no one hasn't held him accountable or he hasn't felt the consequences or for any of his actions. That's the only reason why he's doing it, because they haven't done anything to hurt or harm this man in any way, shape, or form. That's why he keeps doing it. I guarantee you, if you crucify this guy or make him feel like a pound or an ounce of his consequence and let him know that you can't get away with it, I guarantee you he'll change. At least a little bit.
Rights quite often. Andy will go from speaking in the third person to then talking about why the police can't do this because it violates his human rights. All to the 911 operators who are very well familiar with who he is and what he tries to do to his family.
Well, I also went out of Dad's house. I have a right to throw out my diapers. I have a right to throw out my medications. I was allowed to throw out my medications pill by pill, but I'm not allowed to throw out my diapers because you guys are depriving me of my civil rights.
Oh my God.
Andrew Ditch has contacted the police hundreds of times, usually claiming abuse suffered at the hands of his family, demanding that either the police officers make them provide him proper care or take him to a group home. The officers in the area...
Dude, not even a group home. I wouldn't even drop him off at a group home, because if he acts like this at his home, imagine how bad he's gonna act in a group home. And if he goes into a group home, he's probably going to get hurt, because I guarantee you there's going to be someone there just as bad or worse than him that's physically going to hurt this man. Like, this man has to be in a fucking institution.
Most of which know Andy are extremely patient with him, especially the 911 operators. Andy has threatened them, told them lies that waste valuable police resources, and screamed in their ear. Not to mention the poor officers who Andy has flashed, assaulted, and subject to all of this madness.
He shot them his dick?
You would think that with how much Andy contacts the authorities, that he would have a modicum of respect for them. But it is the exact opposite, as just like everyone else, Andy sees them as there to serve him, and only him, leading to many negative personal interactions with the police.
I've been hit by a car so many times, and you know what? Put me on 941, because I'm going to run away from the house, from the hospital.
No, Andy, come on.
I'm running away. You can't hold me
Andy,
hostage.
Come on.
You can't hold me hostage.
We're not holding you hostage, but we need you to... We need you to
You're holding me hostage.
We need you to go down to the
You're
ED.
holding me hostage. Oh, you abused me.
Andy.
He fucked up. He fucked up. He should not have grabbed him. Because if you grab someone or touch someone without their consent, they can't hold that against you. My camera's blurry. The fuck? Oh, chica mama. Hold on. Yeah, why does it look blurry? I'm fixing it, Mom. Yep.
Me.
Why are we doing this?
You abused me. Don't touch
He's
me.
like,
I don't
why?
want to be abused. Sir, I have a right to leave without being escorted out.
Not right now, you don't.
You're on
Why?
private property right now.
You're on private property.
Then fine.
You've been discharged.
Fine. You hurt my back. You hurt my back. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm
Andy,
leaving.
we're trying to...
I'm leaving. I want to leave.
Dude, imagine how good, like, I know I normally don't condone this kind of behavior, but, like, imagine the satisfaction that they would get if they would just tase him and just cuff him to a bed. That would be so much easier, right?
They were simply trying to escort him out of the hospital, but Andy refused. He didn't want an escort. He wanted to go his own way, and that's what caused the issue. That clip was another brilliant display of Andy quoting his legal rights. Once he starts doing that, you can pretty much rest assured that he's not going to comply, because in his mind, you are no longer an authority figure. If you try to stop him, you will be one of the accused, one of the people responsible for making Andy's life as horrible as it is. Because as I've said before, that is the whole point of Andy whipping out the camera. When Andy whips out the camera, it's almost always in an attempt to solicit pity. He wants the people on his channel to see a video like that and see a man who is being abused by the system, as well as his family. It usually ends up displaying the exact opposite. A man in his 30s with complete disregard for his elderly parents. All I have seen in my time researching Andy is elder abuse. I feel like there is no better example of this as to when Andy got arrested for his oil diffuser. This is probably the second most infamous event in Andrew Ditch lore. Don't worry, the first is yet to come. But as for the oil diffuser arrest, it's a doozy. It starts out with Andy putting an exorbitant amount of oil into his oil diffuser, a humidifier type device which you can add scents to that will spread throughout the room. The only problem is that certain types of oils have been known to affect people with breathing issues, as well as animals. Andy's parents and their dogs all started to experience breathing issues, and upon confronting Andy about this, he refused to shut the oil diffuser off, claiming that it was for his emotional health, and that they had absolutely no right to make him turn it off. The police were called, and an interaction would ensue that would end with Andy in cuffs.
Thank God.
Heart problem and breathing problem. I had to put the oxygen out. We asked him to turn it off. He refuses to do that. This morning when we came back from papers, the same thing. Even Joe, you can ask him. He had to go upstairs. We couldn't stand it because we're trying to eat, and he can't eat when it smells so bad. I have no idea. You'd have to ask him. He's videotaping us too.
I don't have to. You're not. Is it a court order?
We want to know if we can press charges because this is our home and it's bothering our breathing.
You didn't ask me to turn off.
Could you stop shining that light in my face?
I can. Is that order or is that a violation? You're gonna arrest me for having my light on camera?
No, I'm asking you as a matter of human decency if you could stop shining a bright.
Well, I did nothing wrong except for just trying to sit here, relax.
So I'm asking you to shut the oil diffuser off.
It's for my coping skills. And I don't have to answer to you unless it's a court order for it.
Andy, can you please not?
If there's a court order, is that
First name basis, huh?
Court order. Why do you have to talk like this all the time?
Is that a request or is that a court order for me not having my oil diffuser that helps me relax?
Don't. He's rage baiting him so hard.
Your parents have. Your mother's on oxygen. It's bothering her. Okay?
I'm calling my lawyer.
Stand up and put your hands behind your back.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Stand up and put your hands behind your back.
Hurting me?
Charged with resisting arrest.
I didn't do anything. Stand up! Right now! Hurting me!
Stand up.
Hurting me!
Stand up.
Tase him. Tase him.
Well, that's what happened. You put your hands behind your
Oh my God.
What? I don't understand what you're saying. I'm being arrested for my oil diffuser. Okay, why are you being arrested right now? For my oil diffuser. Officer Kelly's arresting me for my oil diffuser.
Refusing to put his hands behind his back, so now he's going to be charged with resisting.
I didn't do anything other than have an oil diffuser on. You're abusing me! You're abusing me! Stop! You're abusing me!
Oh my God, dude.
The oil diffuser incident is the perfect encapsulation of Andy's character. People politely ask him to turn off his oil diffuser because his mother is on oxygen
Yep.
and it's bothering her. Andy says no, the cops are called, and he resists the cops. That officer has had many interactions with Andy and
Yeah,
was
I
extremely
imagine.
patient with him throughout this whole thing. You have
The thing about videos too and the social media is that they could leave out crucial information that could possibly bring them down or can bring them down. In Andy's case, he probably only posted things that would like benefit him or left out crucial things like his mom is on oxygen and the oil diffuser, right? Like if he hasn't has said that, I would have been like, all right, well, I don't know what's going on. Compared to, well, now he's being arrested because he's refusing to turn off the oil diffuser, which is killing his mom. Well, not really killing him, but like making it more difficult for them to breathe. So when you go on social media and you look at things, like, don't believe it at first. Like all I'm saying is you just don't believe everything that you see or hear or watch on the media, because the media is very manipulative in so many ways, and mostly people who are very gullible are bound to fall for that.
have to wonder if this is really the outcome that Andy wants. Overly standoffish, unwilling
Yeah.
to cooperate, and unwilling to believe that he is anything but the victim. And as soon as he's taken into custody, he starts making accusations against the officer and calling crisis hotlines. A lot of the content you've seen throughout here that's been audio have been messages that Andy has recorded himself while he's either talking to police or some kind of social services. During all of these calls, Andy is claiming to be the victim of some grave injustice, when in my opinion, it's been the family of Andy who have really been victimized. If you want proof of this, then look no further than the time Andy poisoned every one of them. Andrew Ditch has had a long history of tampering with people's food and drink. His father highly suspects that he was the cause of his antifreeze poisoning. He put super hot sauce in chili to serve to his 2 elderly parents, admits to putting laxatives in his father's coffee as a child, and then the most infamous incident in all of Andy Ditch lore. I'll let his local news station give you the rundown.
A man from the city of Tonawanda faces
shit.
3 felony charges accused of spiking the food of several of his family members. Police say 34-year-old Andrew Ditch put Epsom salts and laxatives in the food and the water reservoir of the family's coffee machine. The family members knew something was wrong when they all started to suffer from nausea, abdominal pain, and severe diarrhea. Ditch was arraigned and is being held on $5,000 bail. He will return to court tomorrow for a felony hearing.
Yeah.
He denies it. Last year, me and his brother, and even my wife, got sick constantly, running the job, diarrhea, even crapping our pants. No way to describe it, and we got frustrated. And he made a comment to one of his friends on the internet that he put laxative and Epsom salt in our food, our coffee and drinks, and you better really get close and run to the toilet. And I was wondering why my stomach was hurting so bad. Like I told my wife the one day, I wanted to go to the hospital, but I didn't, because I was just doubled up pain. And the strange thing is that since he's been gone, even though he doesn't like to hear it, we no longer have the problem, none of us. And it was going on for at least 6 months on and off here and there.
Wow.
And we thought it was something else.
For over 6 months, Andy was tampering with their food and drink. For those who don't know, Epsom salt is a magnesium supplement and laxative. Given the fact that Andy uses diapers, I would say that he's well versed in what the Epsom salt does, as well as the laxatives that he used to poison his elderly parents and brother. To what end, I have no idea. Like I've said, that part of Andy's personality is extremely disgusting and disturbing, so I would not be surprised if he got some kind of sick satisfaction out of it. Andy has done so much to his family, and many believe it is in an attempt to be placed in a group home. Andy has been placed in facilities before, but he doesn't have a good track record when it comes to respecting authority, so he is always swiftly ejected from the program, and the help is cut off from him forever. And you can't really blame these organizations when not only have they put up with Andy for thousands of hours already, but he's also spitting on the medical professionals. All because
the other thing too is that a lot of people like talk down to all these companies and all these medical facilities. One of the biggest reasons why people don't like him so much is because they dealt with one kind of person so many times, they can see their signs in it very early into someone that they're about to take in. And if they see the signs in someone that they know that they will bring nothing but trouble to them, they won't take them. And a lot of times they won't say why, because larger companies tend to get like lawsuits where people will just call in and just start harassing the employees because they won't take in their family members. Yeah, so like if a hospital knows that this person does this and does that, the hospital's not going to take them. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough for people to notice on a small scale.
Because they won't let him leave, even though his doctor has ordered him to stay.
Can I please leave?
Sir, no. The doctor
Why?
said no. The doctor said no.
I want to leave.
Hey, man, come on.
I want to leave. Can I please leave?
No.
I have a right.
Watch out. That's how you're gonna be.
I'm asking to leave.
Don't lock him in
I
there.
have a right to leave.
Before you leave after that crap.
I'm sorry, but you can't hold me against my will. I'm asking to leave. And I'm glad to be arrested.
Assaults a man in a disgusting way in front of a police officer, then asks to please leave. In a nutshell, that is Andy Ditch. This has...
See, that's the thing too. When I said that social media can be lying or leaving out crucial details or even manipulative, he said that he assaulted the police officer, but he didn't get that on record. He only got the part where they locked him in the room and him saying he's been locked in there against his will. He's leaving crucial information out that would bring him down. Shit like that is just like really, it's just bad behavior, and you're not doing anyone else a favor, and you're lying, and you're deceiving your audience in some way. And that's how you build up empathy for people like Andy, because he leaves out information and he's actually just manipulating you. People think that people like Andy are like full-on retarded. It's like, they're not full-on retarded. They know what they're doing. They know it's bad, but they just don't care, or they can't view it as it being bad.
Happened with countless medical services to the point where they don't really even have any more to offer him. He has degraded, insulted, and threatened so many people that he no longer is allowed to use many of these social services. Let me read you some statistics real quick about how much time and resources were used on Andy. 1,000 hours of securing medical records, 1,500 hours of crisis management, 200 hours of listening to consumer recordings, over 2,000 emails reviewed and responded to, 200 hours of medical advocacy, 10 hours of advocacy with law enforcement, submitted 5 updates to the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities to assist with determining eligibility. This single organization has spent over 3,000 hours assisting Andrew Ditch in one way or another, and Andy will still claim in his videos that he receives no help for his disabilities.
Yeah.
The many contradictions of Andrew Ditch paint a very clear picture of the truth. Andy will say that he has problems with loud noises and go out to rock concerts. He'll say he receives no help from his parents.
Did he go to the rock concerts before the accident or after the accident? I feel like if that's the case, it might be a whole different scenario, but if he goes to these concerts as he is in this condition, then that makes the case worse, you know?
When they help him as much as they physically can at their old age. He says he receives no help from mental services or the police when they've spent thousands of hours helping him, and he claims to have autism when it has been factually proven that he does not. Why does he do all of this, you ask? Common consensus is pity. Andrew Ditch wants you to look at his channel and see a man who has been absolutely abused by the system and his family. But anyone who takes a closer look sees right through that facade. Andrew has been doing stuff like this for years.
Certain people can look through the typical bullshit. Now you get two minds, right? The first mind just looks at Andrew and doesn't think about anything else other than the man that's being controlled or being wrong. Normally most people don't have enough experience with people like Andrew, or they're not looking at it hard enough. And then the second person could tell and look through the bullshit because they rather done it themselves, or they ran into someone who tried or did do that to them. It's like, to me, I think it's rather one of those.
And it shows absolutely no signs of stopping. You would think that your family dismissing the charges after you poisoned them would change your outlook. But if you ever go to Andy's brother Joe's channel, you'll get the real story. And you'll see just what the Ditch family struggles with daily. I will remember Andrew Ditch's story as one of the darkest and most depraved I have ever covered, with twists and turns I never expected, images I never wanted to see, nor will be able to unsee, and interactions so bizarre that they could only come from a man called the Poopsquatch.
The Poopsquatch. That was a very good video. I really do enjoy watching Kiwi tapes. Well, I have his channel linked in the bio, so if you guys want to check out his channel for yourself and check out what he has to offer. He has a lot to offer. His videos are very entertaining.